Let me take you back to 2020. I was walking through a mall in Los Angeles, not really looking for anything special. You know how sometimes the best discoveries happen when you're not even searching? That's exactly what happened with Gissah Perfumes. I noticed this elegant display with bottles that look different from the usual designer fragrances. Turns out Gissah is a luxury perfume house from Kuwait, bringing Middle Eastern perfume traditions with a modern twist to the Western market. I was curious, but honestly, I've been disappointed by so many hyped fragrances before. One spray and I was hooked. The depth and quality were unlike anything I'd experienced in mainstream perfumes. What was supposed to be a quick mall trip turned into an hour-long fragrance journey where I tested nearly everything they had. What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing the 10 most incredible Gissah fragrances that have literally made strangers stop me to ask what I'm wearing. These aren't your typical department store scents. These are conversation starters, mood boosters, and confidence builders all bottled up. And the best part, most people haven't even discovered them yet. First up is Calabria, and trust me, this one is special. When I first sprayed it, I got this incredible burst of fresh orange. I'm talking about real juicy orange that smells like you just peeled one with your own hands. But here's where it gets interesting. After about 15 minutes, this peppery kick comes through. Not harsh or overwhelming, but warm and energetic. It takes what could have been just another citrus fragrance and gives it actual personality and depth. I wore this to dinner with friends last month. And you know what happened? 3 different people asked what I was wearing, no joke. One of my buddies even took a picture of the bottle because he wanted to get it for himself. The thing I love most about Calabria is how it changes throughout the day. That bright orange slowly fades and these woody notes start coming through. It's like starting your day all bright and energetic, then settling into something more chill and confident as the hours pass. And the staying power is impressive. Most fresh fragrances disappear after a couple hours, but this one stuck around from dinner until I got home. We're talking 7 hours later and I could still catch whiffs of it. If you've been looking for something that's fresh but not basic, something with more depth than your typical summer scent, Calabria might become your new signature. Next up we have Capri. And this one instantly transports me to a sunny day on the Italian coast. The first time I sprayed this, it was like diving into crystal clear blue water. So refreshing, so clean. Capri opens with this amazing blend of sea breeze and lemon notes. It's the definition of clean and crisp, but not in that typical shower gel way that so many aquatic fragrances have. This feels natural and high quality. I wore this to a beach day with friends and 2 people literally followed the scent to ask me what I was wearing. One even said, "You smell like vacation in a bottle." And honestly, that's the perfect description. What surprised me most about Capri is how it stays fresh without becoming boring. There's this subtle woody base that comes through a few hours in, giving it some backbone without losing that breezy feel. For longevity, I got about 5 to 6 hours before it became a skin scent. Not bad for something this light and fresh. It's perfect for those days when you want to smell clean and approachable but still unique. If you're tired of smelling like everyone else at the beach or pool party, Capri is your answer. It's like the upgraded version of every summer fragrance you've ever tried. Moving on to Hudson II. And wow, this is where things get interesting. This fragrance surprised me because it's so different from what I expected from the bottle. The moment I sprayed it, I got this amazing blend of leather and spices that feels both modern and timeless. The opening has this perfect balance of warmth and mystery. It's bold without being aggressive. There's cardamom, pepper, and this subtle hint of something sweet that keeps pulling you back in for another sniff. I wore Hudson II to a business meeting, and I immediately noticed how it altered the way people interacted with me. There's something about it that commands respect but still feels approachable. A client actually paused mid-conversation to ask about my fragrance. What really makes Hudson II stand out is how it evolves throughout the day. That initial spicy punch mellows into this gorgeous leather and amber combination that sits close to the skin but makes its presence known when people get near you. And talk about staying power, this one lasted from my morning coffee all the way through dinner. We're talking over 10 hours and still detectable. That's the quality you're paying for. If you're looking for a signature scent that works in professional settings but has enough character to stand out from the crowd, Hudson II deserves a spot in your collection. Next is Sora, and this one feels like it was made for those perfect spring mornings. The first time I sprayed this, it was like walking through a garden after a light rain. Everything smells pure, floral, and alive. Sora opens with these beautiful light florals. Not heavy or perfumey, but natural and airy. There's also this green note that makes everything feel crisp and energetic. It instantly puts me in a good mood. I wore Sora to a weekend brunch with friends, and 3 people at our table commented on how fresh I smelled. One friend immediately asked to spray it on herself, and it smelled completely different on her. That's the mark of a complex quality fragrance. What I love most about Sora is how effortless it feels. It's the kind of scent that becomes part of your personal signature rather than announcing your arrival. As the day goes on, it develops this subtle sweetness that keeps it interesting. For longevity, I was impressed. Light fragrances usually disappear quickly, but Sora stuck around for about 6 or 7 hours before fading. It becomes more subtle over time but doesn't completely disappear. If you're someone who usually finds fragrances too heavy or overwhelming, Sora might be your perfect match. It's the definition of elegant simplicity. Now, let's talk about Nexus. And this one is definitely for the risk takers. When I first sprayed this, I wasn't sure what to think. It's so unique, so different from mainstream fragrances that it took me a minute to process. Nexus opens with this almost metallic vibe mixed with aromatic herbs. It sounds strange, but trust me, it works. There's something futuristic about it, like the fragrance equivalent of a concept car or cutting-edge architecture. I wore Nexus to an art gallery opening, and it was the perfect choice. 5 different people commented on it throughout the night. One person literally followed me across the room to ask what I was wearing. That's the kind of reaction Nexus gets. What makes Nexus fascinating is how it transforms over time. That initial boldness evolves into this warm, resinous character that feels both ancient and modern at the same time. It keeps you coming back to experience the journey. And the performance is impressive. Nexus lasted over 12 hours on me, with people still noticing it at the end of the night. The projection is moderate but consistent throughout its life. If you're tired of smelling like everyone else and want something that truly makes a statement, Nexus is worth exploring. It's not for everyone, and that's exactly the point. Moving on to Hudson Valley. And this one feels like a love letter to the great outdoors. The moment I sprayed it, I was transported to a forest after a rainfall. It's earthy, green, and incredibly refreshing. Hudson Valley opens with this amazing pine note that doesn't smell artificial at all. It's like taking a deep breath in a forest. There's also this crisp air quality that makes everything feel clean and natural. I wore this on a weekend hike with friends, and it felt like a perfect companion to the experience. A friend who normally doesn't care about fragrances actually commented, "You smell exactly like this place, but better." What I love about Hudson Valley is how it manages to capture nature without feeling like an air freshener. As it develops, there's this wonderful woody warmth that comes through, making it feel cozy and grounding. For longevity, I got a solid 8 hours before it started to fade. It's not a loudly projecting fragrance, but it creates this wonderful bubble around you that others notice when they're close. If you love the outdoors or just want a fragrance that feels authentic and grounding, Hudson Valley deserves your attention. It's like bringing the best parts of nature wherever you go. Let's talk about La Luna. And wow, this one is pure magic in a bottle. The first time I sprayed it, I instantly thought of warm summer nights. There's something mysterious and captivating about it. La Luna opens with this dreamy blend of lavender and night-blooming flowers. It's not your typical floral fragrance. There's a depth and a darkness to it that makes it feel sophisticated and alluring. I wore La Luna to a dinner date. It was the perfect choice. My date kept leaning in closer and eventually said, "You smell incredible." It's like being drawn to something you can't quite explain. That's exactly what this fragrance does. What makes La Luna special is how it evolves throughout the evening. That initial floral sweetness transforms into this creamy, almost intoxicating vanilla and musk combination that stays close to the skin but creates this irresistible aura. For longevity, La Luna is impressive. It lasted from dinner through the entire night, about 9 hours total. It becomes more intimate over time, like a secret between you and whoever gets close enough to notice. If you're looking for a fragrance that feels romantic without being obvious about it, La Luna should be your next purchase. It's the scent equivalent of that perfect song that sets the mood without trying too hard. Next, we have One and Only, and this fragrance truly lives up to its name. The moment I sprayed it, I knew it was something special, rich, opulent, and unlike anything else in my collection. One and Only opens with this gorgeous amber note that's immediately warming and inviting. There's also this blend of exotic spices that makes it feel like a journey to somewhere far away and luxurious. I wore this to a wedding, and honestly, I lost count of how many compliments I received. The bride asked what I was wearing, saying it smelled expensive and unforgettable. That's the perfect way to describe it. What makes One and Only worth its price is how complex and layered it feels. Throughout the day, I noticed different facets. Sometimes the amber dominated, other times the woods or a hint of vanilla. It's like wearing a fragrance that has multiple personalities, all of them gorgeous. The performance is exceptional. One and Only lasted well over 14 hours on me, and people still noticed it at the end of the night. The projection is perfect, present without being overwhelming. If you're looking for a signature scent for special occasions, something that makes you feel like royalty, One and Only deserves your attention. Yes, it's an investment, but some fragrances are worth every penny. Now let's talk about Imperial Valley. And this one truly feels like luxury in a bottle. When I first sprayed it, I was hit with this incredible blend of richness and freshness that somehow works perfectly together. Imperial Valley opens with this bright bergamot note that's immediately refreshing. But there's also this underlying richness that tells you this isn't just another fresh fragrance. It is sophisticated and elegant from the first spray. I wore this to a job interview where I truly wanted to make an impression, and it was the ideal choice. The interviewer actually paused to comment on how great the office smelled after I entered. I got the job, and while I can't give all the credit to Imperial Valley, it definitely didn't hurt. What makes Imperial Valley special is how it balances freshness with depth. As the day goes on, it develops this gorgeous woody foundation with hints of vanilla that keeps it interesting without becoming heavy or cloying. For longevity, I was truly impressed. Imperial Valley stayed with me for over 10 hours, maintaining its character throughout the day. The projection is just right. People notice it without feeling overwhelmed. If you're looking for a fragrance that bridges the gap between professional and memorable, Imperial Valley is a perfect choice. It has that rare quality of being appropriate for any situation while never being boring. Finally, we have Legend of Valleys, and this one lives up to its epic name. The first time I experienced this fragrance, I was immediately transported to another world. It's mysterious, complex, and tells a story on your skin. Legend of Valleys opens with this incredible freshness that feels like standing at a mountain summit. There's a hint of herbs and something almost mystical that's hard to put into words. It's unlike anything else I've ever smelled. I wore this to an important presentation where I needed confidence, and it delivered. 3 colleagues stopped me afterward to ask about my fragrance. One even said it made me seem more authoritative, but in a good way. That's the power of finding the right scent. What makes Legend of Valleys worth having in your collection is its incredible transformation throughout the day. It starts bold and attention-grabbing, then settles into this warm, almost spiritual comfort that feels like being wrapped in the perfect blanket. The performance is nothing short of legendary. It lasted a full 16 hours on me, with people still commenting on it at the end of the day. The projection is masterful, present, but never intrusive. If you're looking for a signature scent that truly stands out from everything else on the market, Legend of Valleys deserves a spot in your collection. It's the kind of fragrance that becomes part of your identity. So, there you have it. My top 10 Gissah fragrances that have consistently turned heads and started conversations. Each one has its own unique character and story, but they all share that incredible Gissah quality and attention to detail. Whether you're looking for something fresh like Capri, bold like Nexus, or luxurious like One and Only, there's a Gissah fragrance that's perfect for you and your lifestyle. Let me know in the comments which one caught your attention the most, or if you've tried any Gissah fragrances before. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more fragrance discoveries that are worth your attention. Remember that the right fragrance doesn't just change how you smell, it changes how you feel. Until next time, smell and feel good and stay fragrant.